All right, bang. Today is Wednesday. It's April 9th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Free Swim Wednesday. Rico Bosco is here joining us. Before we really get into it, though, I want to talk about my friends at Game Time. Baseball is back. There's nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. Lucky for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down. Closer it gets to showtime. Plus, if you purchase a super deal when buying tickets on April 22nd, Game Time will plant a tree with the proceeds going to Earth Day. I was looking at tickets for this Friday. They said baseball's back. Cubs, next Friday, Cubs Diamondbacks at Wrigley for as low as $7.
I'll get two.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. So you can put those savings back in your pocket and spend them at the ballpark on a hot dog, a new hat, or some good old-fashioned Cracker Jacks. What are you waiting for? Go buy those Cubs tickets now with Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. Rico, welcome in.
What's up?
Welcome in, man. Great to see you.
How's the neck?
Horrible. Leave it to me to drive 48 hours on a fucking bus, have no issues, and then get to one of the nicest hotels in San Antonio and wake up Saturday morning.
That's what it's from?
Yeah, 100%.
You got a bad pillow.
Unless it's a delayed from the bus, which I doubt. But
I think it could be delayed. Workman's comp now.
Well,
that goes. Tried to extort Dave for 20 grand.
That is a thing, though. I've heard that. Also, for people that don't know, that don't follow all the Barstool happenings, Rico took a how many hour bus ride?
48. It ended up being pretty much.
So
I left at 1:30 New York time and got there at like 1:30 San Antonio time, which is really 2:30 New York time. So like 48, 49 hours.
Okay, so New York to San Antonio, 38, 39 hours. Miserable. And then, now he's got a stiff neck. He's been wearing a neck brace.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, it has to be from how you were sleeping.
You got an
on the
icy
bus.
hot? What is that patch back?
Like like heat thing.
Yeah,
It
the
said.
Shaq,
It does not
O'Neal
feel
thing?
heat. Yeah,
Well, it doesn't
I've been
look
loading
like
up
it's really
with.
touching your neck.
It's like a woman's pad.
Yeah, I guess.
like
I don't
the
know. I've
Brian
been loading
Cox.
up with. Oh, it's a little hot. I've been loading up with icy hot and
Okay.
cortisone or whatever the fuck that cream is. I found.
I feel like I get stiff necks regularly. And I'm always like, I run right to the massage. I think I did one here recently.
Yeah, what's like the actual cure? I feel like that Tiger Balm stuff doesn't really ever work.
I think you just got to get it
Icy
massaged
hot,
out,
doesn't it?
man. You just got to get it
Does
rolled
that
out.
guarantee
out?
anything?
Yeah, because I think that's what it is. Like all the muscles get all fucked up.
Chiropractor.
They could do that too. But I asked her, I was like, oh, she's like, it's a build-up thing. So that
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
boss, honestly,
It's like one of the. What do they call it? Vertebrae that you can feel.
Vertebrae,
Piece
yep.
down, piece down. It's one of those that like just right on the top one feels. Like
right on
maybe
the
the
vertebra.
second and next
You got to
one.
get realigned.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
brutal.
Ask Dave to give you a massage. I'm sure he
Yeah.
will.
I know.
Fly private with him back to New York and have him massage your neck on the way back.
Exactly,
you
yeah.
flew private to Chicago at least, right?
Yeah. So in the history of the world, you think there's anyone who took a bus one way and flew private the way? I'm dead serious. There's no way.
I want to
There's
say
absolutely no way.
I want to say there's been someone in history that went to like Vegas with like $1 in a dream and like hit it big.
I don't know, man.
That's possible. But that summed up Dave Portnoy in one sentence right there.
Yeah.
You're in his orbit. He might make you do something shitty, but then you get some cool things in the back.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
So how was it overall?
Yeah, I mean, I could do good and bad, really, to be honest.
About
with you.
bus trips?
Yeah. Well, you want to do this specific one? You want to like recap this or just
Or
in
like
general?
just what is it to take a bus across the country in general? I've done a train. I did a Chicago to New York train that was 20 hours. So like bus and train are very different. You had how many stops?
15 within 5.
Yeah, that's
if that
fucking
makes sense.
insane.
But like some of
15
them
within
are, hey,
5,
come back. We're going to this bathroom, like, this rest stop, jump out 5 minutes, come back.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're called. Like they're cold stops along the way. But five really big transfers.
Do people abide by that, or like someone's got to be like that?
Nah, nobody really lags. I'll say this.
Because does it leave without you if you're in the
They
aisle
could,
getting
yeah.
Skittles?
I mean, they try not to, but
So
the
they
other
head
thing
count?
is like, what?
They head count? Hold on, let me get into
Actually,
this bus stop.
they don't head count.
Whoa.
Well, how do they know if they're leaving someone behind?
I think it's, to be honest with you, dude, the community of people,
The bus rider community.
skelly as they are
Yeah.
like not that bad, man. You have people kind of looking out for whatever. Like if there's a bag, guys like, is that your bag? I'm like, no. Like, is this your, hey, don't forget your charger. Or like other people will be like, hey, they're doing this thing where we have to clear the whole bus, and they're bringing new people on. You pay for your certain seats, like maybe leave your neck pillow or leave something on the seat, like food or whatever. So that seat they'll know is taken when you can come back on. Like people will suggest with that, like.
Did you get any numbers on this bus?
Dude,
Friends
yes,
for life.
dude. So, yeah, I guess I'll tell that part quick. So I get on at Dallas after the Alex Stein thing, which was crazy. And the kid gets on. He's like, "We know you. Like, yo, like whatever. What do you think the kid and his friend do for a living?" Associate head coach of Emerson College basketball. The other kid works for the Dallas Mavericks. They get on.
Riding the bus.
They took the coaches convention down there.
Okay.
They were like, it's $71 for us to go to San Antonio. San Antonio's a walking city.
Yeah.
The kid was like, I'm going to save some money, and he's probably going for his lungs on a hotel.
Well, how long is
out
it,
for the
Dallas to
bars.
San Antonio?
4 hours.
Oh,
so like
if
by
you're-
the time you get to a fucking
Yeah.
airport, it's like that was the only
yeah.
way. And instead of driving, he would have spent $71 in gas.
Yeah, statewide
So, like,
makes sense.
Statewide, and no problem. But of
Yeah.
course, these kids are in the basketball community. They were the ones who filmed the video for me with the girl like fighting, and they sent it to me, and then they got on the Portnoy show and I turned the camera, which I knew would be a very funny clip. But yeah, like the good of it was on time, which I've heard could be like a nightmare. So we get to Pittsburgh at 11:55 and it takes off at 1:35 in the morning. It took off at 1:35 in the morning. Like there was no, like the lady said, we're waiting 15 minutes at this rest stop. You leave 15 minutes. Like it was so tight. I almost missed the Nashville connection. Because it was like that tight. So like if you're on that bus, there's no dead time. Like you're there for maybe 2 hours or sometimes 3 in a certain like layover. But for other than that, like it's moving pretty quick. And like it's one of those things, I guess, if you enjoy just kind of being to yourself, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like no one's talking to you, no one's bothering you. Like you can kind of just zone the fuck out, which I did for 48 hours. But yeah, that part wasn't terrible. Like, and again, Wi-Fi really reliable. Outlets.
Oh, what? They can't even get reliable Wi-Fi in the air.
Lights out, bro. Really reliable Wi-Fi.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Really reliable Wi-Fi. Outlets on the bus, like not terrible. So that, but then the bad, yeah. I mean, you're walking with the element in terms of skills. There is no security at all. So like you could walk on with 3 bombs and 4 guns and like here you go. You know what I mean? Like
Taking over a bus.
yeah, exactly. Like so lunacy that way. A lot of people. Dude. It's crazy. Every bus was almost packed to the gills. Like it was a short amount of time where I sat by myself. Very short amount of time.
Really? That's
Swear to God, yeah. One guy was huge sitting next to me. The other kid was like passed out asleep. I had to like wake him up to move into that.
I saw
seat.
that.
Yeah, it was that part's tough. But again, like people it was crazy. The good obviously too was getting a ton of content. And then I went to the coaches convention, like I'm walking around there and a ton of people are coming up to me being like, yo, you got here okay? How's the bus? The bus. Like it was, then you started to tell other people. So I knew the coach of Illinois' son. And then he goes, Dad, you know how he got here? And I tell Underwood, and Underwood's like, no way. Like people were hearing this story, like cracking up, like no way. And they were following along. I didn't expect it to blow up like that. It blew up like that. But yeah, I mean, once I decided like there's no way of getting around it. Like if you go to Barstool and you make a bet, you have to honor it, or like Dave will kill you. You know, there's a very famous video game thing. Obviously, he got mad at. Like there's no way around it. So like I was like, all right, how do we make the best of it? You know what I mean? Like
Wait,
you
but
could own what?
What brought on the bet, though? I forget. Like, were you just so cocky about betting?
No, I really wasn't. Dan pretty much initiated the bet, and Jack initiated the bet as well. Yeah. They were like, you are pretty confident. And in fairness, like I didn't make the bet about a team who was in the top 25. I made a bet about the team who was in the top 2 in preseason.
Yeah.
Alabama was 2. Could have been 1. And never left the top 10 during the whole season. Maybe they went to 11, but like Alabama's peaks and valleys were not as deep as people wanted to say. They lost 2 in a row and they were like, they're dead. It was the SEC. Obviously the SEC is fucking really good. So like they never really dipped out of the top 10. They were really good. And I do think anybody other than Duke in terms of the 1 seeds, they might have beat. You know what I mean? Like Duke was out physical and that doesn't help Bama's game. So it is what it is. But yeah, they kind of made the bet. And I was like, all right. I mean, it's, again, like from a guy who 5 or 6 years ago only wanted to control the narrative of how you look in content, you do have to adapt to like you're here for the good, bad, or ugly. In the ugly, you can make a ton of content. So that's what I did. I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, there's no way out. It is what it is. Like, try to own it and have the best week you can, which I think I did.
Sounds like you just enjoyed it, though.
You might be the new John Madden, only traveled by bus.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. Like, again, I do think you have to go in with the right attitude, if that makes sense.
That's what you're going for.
What?
Going into things with the right attitude. Mr. Positivity. Rico 2.0.
Yeah. I don't know. You tell me. Has it
No, it was
been
great.
A miserable fucking the last
No.
I think I've turned the corner.
I think so too.
It's like, I think if you go in with the right attitude, you can make the best of it. I didn't hate it. Put it that way. And then again, like, you don't want to say anything to anybody private. Like anybody who reached out, they were like, how is it? I'm like, honestly, like it's a piece of cake. We're like guys in Indianapolis, 2 riders like walked to Lucas Oil because they saw that picture in the bus stations right across from Lucas Oil. They're like, yo, how is it? I'm like, honestly, first 24 hours, like we're 24 hours in, first 24 hours wasn't that long.
How much sleep did you get on the bus?
Overnight, 5 or 6 each night, so that's about 12. And then during the day, I really didn't nap, but maybe I dozed off for 1 or 2 here and there. So I'm going to say I'd put it at like 16.
Okay.
But again, that's like no sleep outside of the ordinary necessary sleep, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like you had to get the overnight. You know what I mean? So
I do think there are a couple key factors into a bus ride. A bus ride is never going to be good, but there are a couple factors that let you know if it's going to be hell or just like the barrier of bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One is obviously if someone's next to you.
Yeah.
And then 2 is if you got a talker or something like that.
Right.
Because I took a mega bus once to Minnesota.
Okay.
8 hours. And then my friend went to St. Thomas, and like that's a pretty substantial bus ride.
Yeah.
Right? 8 hours. And like the whole time, and just in the depths of the night, someone was just humming, and that's just they were just like they were like singing some shit.
Yeah,
themselves.
Yeah, to
asleep
themselves.
or awake?
Awake. They were awake.
That's lunacy.
They were just being assholes. Basically, like
yeah. I told the story about the one I did. It's crazy. In a year, in literally a calendar year, I have done 24 and a 48. I think I gotta be the only person in the country to do that too.
Yeah.
But last year, the lady gets on, and I forget where we were, and she's like, and this, I had way worse people on the bus last year than I did this year. I will say that, which is crazier because I went double further. But last year we get on, and the lady's like, listen, just keep your devices low. We're trying to I actually put a TikTok of it this year, basically the same speech, like just like try to give everybody a positive thing. She goes and sits in the driver's seat, and the kid on the bus goes, yeah, okay. I was like, oh, here we fucking go. And they played their speakers like as loud as possible. Like there's just no regard for fucking.
Come on a day long bus ride.
Yeah,
that was last.
Like there's music just blasting, like talking, like videos on blast. I did the TikTok this year. The guy, I'm like, I guess headphones are optional.
That's bad enough on the CTA.
Oh, it was brutal.
Let alone
it was brutal.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's all about your ride mates, your seat mates,
the community.
Yeah, it's all about the people on the bus that could make it like just bad or hell.
Yeah, what drives me crazy is like yesterday I was on the train and there was this guy just scrolling through TikToks, and it's at full max. Like I understand if you forgot your headphones, but you could turn it like down a little, halfway. Yeah. You just don't care at all at that point.
Yeah, just do it.
That's crazy.
But even though like on a dark, silent bus ride, even like a minuscule amount of value.
But it's just the point that like at least they're trying, I guess. If they forgot their headphones, they only have it up a little. But to have it on full max, like just spit in my face while you're at it.
Yeah. I'll never forget this lady humming like gospel or some shit. And I'm just like, dude, like it's like you become incensed. You're filled with rage because of like A, because it's dark and you're tired, you want to go to bed, and B, because like it's just the most
obnoxious,
fucking obnoxious thing in the world. What was the best landmark? Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil was pretty good. There was some fucking characters in there though.
At Lucas Oil?
In that bus terminal.
Oh.
Yeah, the only landmarks I got to see Lucas Oil. That was the funny exchange with my dad. My dad's like, you'll see different parts of the country, and I'm sure this thing. I'm like, Dad, you think I'm looking out the window? Like for at any point in this thing, like to see things, like you're out of your mind. Like there was.
Well, it's not like you went to like Yosemite, like,
that too. Yeah, it's like I
staring at
through like your
gray skies.
PA.
Right. Yeah, I went through highways. Yeah, I guess Lucas Oil was pretty good.
Yeah, because of the drop
But
off.
yeah, some girl walked in with like goth makeup painted on whatever, and the people passed out on the floor, and there's a jewelry stand there. I did that TikTok. They're selling jewelry.
Really?
I sent a picture to my wife. Like, you want me to pick anything up? I think it's from like Tiffany, and she laughed. Like, it was just, I mean, it's just wild shit. They sell cologne in a fucking vending machine. It's just
actually
like,
does anybody have bad BO on the bus?
no,
No.
not that I picked up. Fat guy wasn't great, but
Because one of the it was either the drop off or the start in Minnesota was the old Vikings dome.
Oh, really?
Which that was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah,
It's like,
that's
oh, there's that. It was like, I think their roof was like
Was that the one that
tarp.
caved in?
Yeah, it had too much
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
The thing I was worried about was like I went in with a plan. I was talking to some of the social guys, and I'm like, what would you guys do? Like, how do you kind of get the content? And the problem was like the obvious thing is interview the fucking lunatics on the bus, but it's one of those you can't really get up while it's moving.
Yeah.
It's a lot of kind of like don't look, don't talk, don't touch. In terms of the other people as well, like you never know when you're gonna get like snapped
The
on.
wrong guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, all right, let's stay away from that. I just kind of wung it, and I was like, all right, let's roll the dice with this. I do think it's if you come across that thread, people would kind of want to see how it's going.
Yeah. Did you live off of snacks though? I mean, I know you said you got
So,
5
dude,
minutes, and I
so-
know gas stations have Subways, but like 5 minutes does not feel like enough time to like.
For
So
a
to be
meal,
honest
no.
with you,
Yeah.
dude, it's kind of hard to like eat on there, so to speak. Like, but I did go with some snacks. I went and bought snacks and packed it. I did that in the TikTok as well, if you saw it. And I packed like carrots, Twizzlers, some juice box things, which do not hold up well. You ever have juice
as
juice
a
boxes
kid?
as a kid? Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a specific iced tea. It did not hold up well. I had one and threw out the rest. And then like there were some homeless people at the thing. I didn't throw them out. I left them on the bench.
What do you mean
Oh,
it
no.
didn't hold up well? Like it just
Like you
It
remember
does
them
not. It's
being good?
warm. It was warm. One, like normally you put it in the fridge and you have it at lunch
Yeah.
and it tastes cold. So it was warm and it just didn't taste like the can. I don't want to trash the brand if they ever do like advertising with us, but if you follow me, you know who it was. And in the can and in bottles, it's unbelievable. Or even the jugs that they sell at the supermarket, I get those all the time. They all hold up well. All taste really well. The things did not taste well and they were warm.
okay.
So I left them on the bench for like the homeless people. But yeah, I went in worrying about snacks, dude, and I would have to live off vending machines. I was at the pump party Thursday and I go to buy a guy a drink. And then Friday I went and saw the same guy, like met up with him late or whatever. And he was like, yo, you still got your wad? I'm like, yeah. So I had 100 singles. It's now diminished.
Yeah.
But I had 100 singles because I'm like, $3 sodas, like whatever.
Living off of
So I'm like,
Skittles.
yeah, I had it in a rubber band. And I'm like going to buy the drinks. And he's like, look, he tells the other guy, look at this. He was worried about vending machines. He's got 100 singles like for the week. It's fucking unbelievable.
So was there like a connection RB to a fucking BP or like what was?
The main one I got was in one of them we got Subway,
Yeah.
which was life altering because it was like I didn't eat all day to that point. Didn't eat lunch. Ate a bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning. And like, all right, I got to eat this to make it through. And then the next time I ate was PFT's buddy was really nice and had me meet up in Nashville with like a sandwich and a little like lunch pack
Oh,
that he
that's
had.
nice.
He was offering to, if there was a more layover, he's like, yo, you want to come shower? Hank reached out if you want to go here. Like, but again, there was you got off the bus and you had a half hour in
Yeah.
between. With Nashville, I had 5 minutes. We got off the bus and they were like, we're boarding this one. You went right. I went to the guy, hey, sorry, like I can't give you the time of day. Thanks for the thing. Jumped on, like that was it. So that was really the two significant meals I ate.
What did he
during the
give
day.
you?
What?
What did he give you?
Potbelly sandwich.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
There you go.
Bless
I
you,
know.
bless you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Sneezed all over the
Yeah, I know.
It's all yours now.
Disaster. Sorry, dude. Oh,
You're a fucking animal.
Those are bus germs too.
Bus germs, yeah.
Yeah, who
that's
knows where you
fucking-
picked those up?
All of us were getting the fucking
Yeah.
Greyhound cold.
use that as a Kleenex.
And they got like measles or what do they have going on in
Fuck.
Texas? Who knows what he's bringing back here?
Hey, have better sex with BlueChew. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. These erection enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer lasting erections for sexual activities. Guys, be ready when she needs it and get your first month of BlueChew free. Great sex is a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. BlueChew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part is that it's all done online, and that means no visit to doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. BlueChew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is the mission. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of BlueChew free when you use promo code DOGWALK. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code DOGWALK. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring this podcast. I'm kind of battling too. I at Dana's bachelor party this weekend, and the bunk beds we were in. Me and Tommy Smokes, we woke up and it felt like our knees, like we played like 42 minutes in the league.
Where'd you go for that?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, you really take for granted.
What, they were shorter beds? You had to bend your knees?
Yeah, and like I'm not the tallest guy. Like I'm not.
Oh, they're like child-sized beds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And, you just feel like you're fucking, every day you woke up, it's like, oh, my shoulder. Like
I can't reiterate how much I think Airbnbs have dominated the bachelor party or weekend getaway scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
compared to a hotel. And I say it like, again, I went to a very small college in Massachusetts, and a lot of things happened like on campus. My freshman year, I think one person, there was a hockey house that they lived off campus, and it was like a pain in the ass to get to. I don't really hang out with those guys, obviously, but pain in the ass to get to. Like no one does it. Like it was faux pas. It was whatever. Then by the time we were juniors, we moved off campus, and even when we were considering it, I was like, we're gonna have to come back. It was a 5-minute drive, but it's like we're gonna have to come back, and fucking, it's a pain in the ass, and like everything happens on campus, and you can bounce around. And then when we did it, it was the best decision we ever did because I'm gonna sound like a simpleton. There's more places to sit down. You ever live in a dorm room and you're just sitting on your fucking bed, or you're just laying there because that's like, and you feel like a slob, and that's the way to go? Like, you have a house, now they weren't nice, but like we had a couch. You could put your fucking feet up.
Yeah.
There were ways to like, there's a common area of
That's
like,
the
Chief
thing.
comes out of his room, let's watch a game.
Right.
What do you want to watch? Like I even used to sacrifice, like, obviously I watch college, but like somebody else was like, I want to put this on. All right, you know what? Like at least I get to hang out. You know what I mean? Like put it on. So like now, same with hotels. Like you go to your hotel and it's, you got the room and whatever, but it's like an Airbnb can get you a fucking pool. It can get you like cool,
no
a
community
basement.
in a hotel.
Like, no community. Like Airbnb is the fucking way to go, man.
Nah, they dominated that, but we've talked about this a bunch. I think for bachelor parties, yes. For other things, it seems like people are going back to hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I used to do an Airbnb on like business trips, and then I eventually just stopped.
Yeah, they got to figure out, like, there needs to be a uniform code of conduct for the cleanup. Because I think that's the most annoying part.
Yeah.
This guy wants you to do the dishwasher. This one wants the first load of towels. This guy wants towels in the bathroom.
Throw 'em
Mow the
on
lawn while they're at it.
floor and-
Yeah. Right? Like, there needs to be a uniform thing.
I don't know how you can.
Everybody wants their house differently.
Yeah, I get that. But
Also, it should be a mandate that Airbnbs have, I turn on the TV and you have cable.
That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
That's big. We went to Arizona 3 years ago.
We went to in Arizona. They were basically like instructions for YouTube TV. Type in your own account and type in your own password.
Yeah, they had pre-downloaded the app.
Give me, either.
Like, thanks.
It was the Elite Eight. We're like, hey, we're trying to watch the Elite Eight. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have YouTube TV. But it's like, but you don't because none of us have it.
Right.
And we got to log in.
Right.
You have the App Store.
Congratulations, you have a smart TV.
Couldn't that be a tax write-off, so to speak? The YouTube TV each month? Because you're like, I have to get it for my Airbnb. Yeah.
I wouldn't even mind if they just charge extra to include the cost of YouTube TV as opposed to just being like,
let's also divide it up. All right, your cable bill is what? $200 a month?
Just bake in your fucking
You're getting 4 rentals. Just bake it into the fucking
Yeah,
it'd be like an extra $5.
$50. It'd be $5 a guy. $3 a guy. Like, there should be requirements in terms of that as well.
Would you say generally though, Airbnb is like, leave it how you found it? Or are they more? Because it feels like they're more like clean up the yard a little extra or something. Like you're not just cleaning up your mess. It feels like you're doing some of their chores as well.
Also,
like sweep the floors.
They charge you to have somebody like we have a cleaning crew coming in after you. And why am I cleaning up? Why am I cleaning all this?
I would also love they do these Uber Eats and all these services or something like that. If somebody had like a side hustle of one of those things where you can not Craigslist or, whatever, Twitter, I don't know, whatever. They have some kind of business or an app. You book a guy before you leave and you send them a list of, we need 5 cases of body armor. We're going to need this much beer. We're going to need snacks. This is the exact thing. And you forward the guy the money up front. There's a way to, obviously, with whatever it gets protected, that it comes back. Maybe the guy can text you as it's going. Hey, they don't have Cool Ranch. They got Red. You want that? And he loads the fucking Airbnb the minute you walk in. Because there's nothing worse of or deflating of get in, everybody's excited, would love to crack a nice beverage, and
Trip
it's like,
to the store.
Here we go, we're going to the fucking store. It's nothing worse.
Yeah, there should be
you could do
some kind of service like that.
I mean, that's basically You're saying Instacart, but it's got to be in there already.
Yeah, no, and also think of how nice it is to have them iced for 4 hours. You know what I mean, or in the fridge for 4 hours. I think that would be.
The Airbnb should offer that though. I think some people do it, but
the fridge is stocked.
There should be a bachelor party bundle. A couple of cases of beers, hot dogs, burgers, buns, water.
That too, yeah.
That's smart. Yeah, that's it should be.
God forbid there's not gas in the grill.
Oh, yeah.
That's
killer.
Make sure that's the way to go.
That'll ruin White Sox Dave's week.
Yeah, they should do the right thing with that. But the cable is non-negotiable.
And there's just 2 towels total for 10 guys.
Yeah.
It's how did you not foresee this as a problem?
Yeah, the heated pool's an issue all the time now. You got to pay an extra fucking $100 a day. But I guess it's really expensive.
It's always a random hot tub you probably never use but are still paying for.
I don't know. Maybe Airbnb is not the best anymore, Rico.
It's hard to beat it for a bachelor party.
Nah, it's impossible.
I almost how did you do it before? Were you guys just just all meet in the lobby? Where you can't party amongst yourselves unless you're at a bar.
Yeah, but you could always
also saves you a couple of bucks too when you think about it.
Big time.
Yeah, when I had a hotel in Ocean City for a bachelor party I went to, it's all right, we're going to, what time are we going to the bar? 11?
Yeah, you have to be spending money all day.
I know you are, yeah, but you're spending, well, again, you're not cheaping out. You are going for your, it's a big expensive weekend, but it'd be nice to crack a 36 pack, split it between a couple of guys, and you're already 4 or 5 deep before you walk in, instead of it's going for my lungs at 9-10 a clip.
It sounds like such an old thing, how'd you do it back in the day? But when you think about the recent bachelor parties you've been to, it's always you might have a bags tournament, you're playing poker, you're in the pool. You can't be doing that at a hotel pool basketball for 9 hours.
How about wedding parties in general? Have we got more, because of the internet and text, have we got more global with our friends? So my dad's wedding party is all guys from the neighborhood. Now, he was very close with those guys, but you would never consider a guy you went away. He also didn't go away to college, but I guess I feel like back in the day, people's friends were in a more constricted area.
I also feel,
and now I feel like it's very easy to have somebody from different locations. Oh, my buddy's coming in from Mass. This guy's coming in from here. Whatever. You know what I mean? I just feel like
I also feel like people didn't travel for bachelor parties that much back then.
Yeah, that's the real.
I also think bachelor parties, maybe they've gotten or bachelorette parties too as well. Have almost gotten too big.
Yeah.
It used to be one night in the city, we're going out, we just go to the bars in your local town. Now I feel like it's a day club here and a fucking theme there, and you're gone for 5 days. I think the girls do it excessively.
Yeah.
They all got their matching whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think nobody
bathing suits.
Nobody minds it though. I have fun on them all the time.
No, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just it's an observation of the world.
Change.
That's all.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a change.
And then even wedding how did it was very easy for us. You use a website and they're global to get you your tuxes. What did you do back in the day?
Yeah, true. A guy out of town has to go to your
even think about if I had a guy in
tux.
from Staten Island to Red Bank, New Jersey. That guy have to drive from Red Bank to my exact tuxedo shop to get, you know what I mean?
Send measurements, I think.
Yeah, they had phones back then, Rico.
What?
They had phones back then. Just
even that would be a pain in the ass having to measure your fucking neck, your shoulders.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think we've gotten more global as a society. The world got smaller, if that makes sense. Just an observation.
Technology.
Yeah, just an observation.
Maybe because I don't know if your dad went to college, but people or college friends become part of their friend group now in their wedding party, and they don't necessarily have to live in their hometown.
That's another good point too. Yeah, I think a lot of them are just more localized.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know. Yeah, he had 27 guys there.
That's
a big crew.
I don't know that many people.
Big crew.
27, a lot.
It was a big squad, but it was good. They were all
how many from
guys.
Barstool total?
There's 3 of us.
3.
Yeah. Big squad.
7. Holy shit.
Yeah, good guys.
A lot.
You could see why Dana is who he is. One of his buddies pissed his pants at dinner, so I was like, all right.
How does that happen?
Oh,
Dana's a responsible one.
Straight up accident?
Yeah.
for sure. He might be. Yeah, it's just a straight up accident. He was just so blacked out. Like, we're at a nice dinner spot that Marty hooked up. And this kid just like, all of a sudden you get up and it was like, oh no, like you thought like they were calling like an ambo. Then I was like, no, 4 of his buddies just like ushered this guy. I was like, is he all right? Is he having like a fucking heart attack?
To be awake and pee your pants.
Yeah. They're like, nah, he just pissed his pants. I was like, what? I was like, did you like see it on the floor? They're like, nah, he was just talking to us and I just looked down at his pants and they were wet. So we got him out of here.
It's like that one viral video of the guy just peeing on the bar, pretending like he's ordering a drink.
Yeah.
People really do be doing that.
Unbelievable.
No, yeah, it was like, damn, all right. I see the beers. But it was a good squad. He just, he had too much to drink.
Yeah,
Yeah, it happens.
It does happen.
I like the itinerary. Maybe it's being a little bit older, but there's the last one I went on was my brother's, and it rained when we were supposed to play golf. Like bad, like within a half hour, there was standing water on every green.
Ugh.
You could not play. It was torrential. It was, and it was a nice course. We did want to play, but it just sucked. So it's like, all right, now kind of what do we do? And we're a little bit older, so like you're not going out. It was on a resort. It was Turning Stone. It's like you're familiar with that? Upstate
No.
New York. It's really, really nice. But you're upstate. But there's no like, there's a hotel bar. It's not like you're going out to the bars. And we had the cars, but like then you move it, whatever. So long story short, there's a little bit of downtime now that we were supposed to play golf. And like and it's shitty out. So you can't go out. It's like that like 2-hour nap in that 5-hour window was like fucking awesome.
Crucial.
It was just one of those like where you don't get to nap at home. It's like, all right, what do we do? Nobody's really doing anything. Okay, no problem. I am fucking
I'm gonna
out
chill
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that. And you could do that in an Airbnb. You can't really do it in your hotel.
Yeah, you're right. But then you get the nap shamers, Rico.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think about the guy who just pulls a random nap at like 3 p.m. on the second day?
Yeah, I was getting nap shamed on Marty's. And I was like, I took as many as everyone else. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think if there's nothing going on, you're allowed to spend it. Don't get me wrong. Like if everyone's
if
out
you're
in the
just
kitchen
chilling.
playing, having a good time, and you're fucking out of nowhere, like it's like, all right, that guy sucks. But when there's downtime and no one's doing anything, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
You know what you got to do?
You want to go in the room, fucking yank it. You want to play video games. You want to take a nap. Like everybody has their own. That's the best part of like.
Yeah.
You just can't have it look like a premeditated nap. Like you can't cozy up in your bed. Just
Can't
got
be
to
on the
pass out in a lawn
itinerary.
chair with a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take a premeditated.
I'll take a fuck 100%.
Well, you want me to sleep now or go home at 11? It's up to you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's
exactly.
like, all right, like it's after golf. The tea time is at 7:30. It's like, all right, like you're
That's
counting.
ideal now.
Yeah, you're counting like a 2 p.m. when you get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It has to be like post golf or post like 5 hours in the
activity.
pool.
Yes, exactly. You got anything, Dave?
Do you think most kids automatically stop believing in the Easter Bunny once they find out Santa is fake?
Yeah, I do actually. I kind of vividly remember being like, well, if he's not real,
And the rest of them.
that motherfucker's fake as shit,
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy, all of them. Do your kids still believe?
Yeah, they're fucking
I don't know
little.
how old they
They're
are.
very little.
I remember being crushed, obviously, when Santa wasn't real. When I found out, like,
My kids don't even understand what's going on yet. They haven't even got to that. I'm so in the.
You're in the
Oh.
weeds.
early
I
stages.
haven't even. Yeah, we haven't even established what's.
They don't even know. They haven't met the Tooth Fairy yet.
And then I remember the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. I remember being like, I felt dumb that like I thought that it was real.
I caught my mom mid-act.
Well, it's
Fairy.
weird. Yeah. So the year everybody in my house, I was the oldest, but the year I found out with Christmas, if you do the calendar, technically Christmas. I know people are gonna think I'm an idiot. Christmas comes before Easter. In the calendar in the school calendar
Sure,
year.
yeah,
if
in the
that makes
school
sense,
year,
right?
yeah.
I always operate in the school calendar year.
Yeah.
Calendar might as well start in September for me.
I like that.
September is January. Put that on a shirt. Sell it. September is January. So anyway, so Christmas comes and you kind of like, it was one of those years you kind of find out, like your parents say, you know, but don't tell your younger brothers, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then Easter comes. I'm like, oh, like, I guess, like, again, you're just being like a dumb kid. I was like, oh, like, yeah, the Easter Bunny's coming. My dad's like, no, like, you know that one. Like,
So you didn't know?
I guess I like, or just had a lapse of being dumb. Like my dad was like, no, the other one's fake. What do you think this is? I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Like,
Duh.
I think
and then you
yeah.
realize like, yeah, what an idiot. So like, yeah.
I think it's just so much to process that Santa's not real that you're not even thinking about the Easter.
My dad gets so mad too because it's like it's a very religious holiday, and like
Yeah.
we're trolling out some bunny that hides fucking eggs. And then one year we got up before
Some
my brothers
pagan
got up
shit.
before Christmas. it was like 5:55 or like 6 a.m. He's like, they got up before Christmas. Like, fuck this. Like, and it's like, it's just fucking horrible.
Yeah. I remember finding out that the Easter Bunny wasn't real, but then it was still like, well, Santa, that's a fucking bunny, duh. Like, I still believe in Santa
Santa's
for maybe
the guy,
like another year or two.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Santa, he's a guy.
Yeah. And then
The guy just lives in the North Pole.
my parents had a very good marriage and did not have a lot of like fights or like didn't do anything spiteful. You know, like looking back, you know now, like, oh, she used to do this and whatever.
Terrence's parents had a real good marriage.
It must be a fucking Twitter comment there. I haven't heard that joke before.
You said good marriage. I had to.
So the two things she used to do that I was like, ooh, mom and dad might be on the rocks. Every year she would feel like get another 12 dozen eggs. So like 96 was 48. The next year was 58. The next, or 60.
60.
The next year was 72. The next year, I think we got up to like 86 before my father was like, come, like, what the fuck? And she definitely did it like, what do you mean? She would play like the coy thing. And the other thing she used to do for like a 10-year stretch, I want to say maybe 15 years, my dad gave up meat during Lent.
Fridays?
Nope.
Oh, the whole
40
time?
days. 40 days.
Wow.
She turned into the fucking great woodsman for 40 days. I swear to God, he came on Wednesday night from Wall Street. 5 o'clock at dinner, there was a fucking turkey on the table. Like steaks, turkeys, like, and she always was the one, red meat's gonna clog your arteries. She's a health teacher, like, red meat's gonna do this. And then and again, every time my dad would be like, you're cooking a fucking steak, you're cooking a turkey, and I'm eating fucking mac and cheese and like lentil soup or whatever the fuck I can find and tuna and this and that, and you're cooking a fucking turkey. But yeah, I always, looking back, I got a kick at that.
That is funny.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny gets a lot of heat off him. Everyone's always like, oh, is this guy who travels around the world everywhere in one night really real? And then meanwhile, no one's even questioning the giant rabbit.
Yeah, just leaves a basket in your house. You said you caught your mom?
For the Tooth Fairy, yeah. She kind of played it off pretty well, but I was still awake. She didn't know it. And I just felt her reaching under my pillow. And I was like, ah! And she was like, oh, no, I was just making sure you left it there for the Tooth Fairy. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Slide.
Did you actually know? Did you know?
Like, slide. No, I didn't fully know.
Oh, you're like, oh, you took her at face value? You're like, oh, yeah, sure, Mom.
I mean, I was young.
Yeah.
The amount of lies parents tell their kids is remarkable.
It's baffling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is they always, don't lie, always tell the truth, and then they just lie to you basically your entire life.
Left and right. I definitely have told this story. We were leaving Hershey Park, and we're in the pool the last day of checkout, and we loved Hershey. And my brother's like probably 5 maybe, and we would always take the Christmas family picture at the Botanical Gardens in Hershey. So my dad's like, all right, to my brother, like, hey, get out. Like, we're just going to go take this picture and then we're coming back. And he's like, we're coming back, right? Like, he always talked out of his balls as a little kid. It was very funny. Like, we're coming back, right? And he's like, yeah, we're coming back. We ain't coming back. Car is parked. So, and he needed him to smile for the pictures. Take the pictures. And he's like, all right, guys, we got to go. And he's in the locker room of like where we were getting changed again to get back out in the car. And then he's like, you lied to me. And for 3 hours home until he passed out, like at one point, maybe an hour and a half mark, he was going, you lied to me from the back seat. Oh, you lied to me.
Devastated.
The entire time, yeah. And another thing my dad did was we went to a Nets game, and he was like, I know a guy who does security. I think it was like 11 or 12 at this point, so I knew what he was up to. He was like, I know a guy who does security. Let me see if I can like help. Maybe we can they gave us free Nets hats, like red awful hats. Mm-hmm. And there was like 15, 20 kids who played in the game. We played in the game before on the court.
Okay.
In that game, and then you got tickets to the game. My dad's like, let me take the hats. I can go to security and see what we can do. So he gets all the hats from the kids, and just before he heads off, I'm like, Dad, you don't know a guy from security. He's like, nah, just shut up. And he signed them all, Keith Van Horn, on the fucking hats and gave it to us.
Got him.
I think that's good. I think those lies are
good lies.
You know what I mean? Like,
make the kids' day.
White lies. Yeah, it's like, it works.
That's how you get by.
Yeah, it's usually just to get you to shut up as a kid.
Yeah.
How else are you going to get that kid out of Hershey Park?
Right.
Oh, yeah, you would have had to drag them. You lied to me for like an hour and a half. So they literally passed out.
Yeah, there's no real alternative.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Tooth Fairy at least has some reasoning behind, right?
What?
Like, because kids would just be terrified and never want to get their teeth out. if they didn't know that there was.
But
But
why
why
can't-
choice though? Those teeth are falling
yeah,
out.
but like,
Why can't the parents just be like, I'll give you $1 if you
yeah, I guess.
You think we could ever get to a point where people say hiding eggs on Easter is stupid and borderline sacrilegious? Like maybe we just stop?
no,
Like if enough people like
no, because I actually think like
the tooth, like, hey, the tooth fairy's stupid. Like we just, that's it.
we had a
Get a
big,
majority and then all of a sudden parents come collectively.
We're out.
we had a big
We're
thing.
out, yeah.
And this kind of goes back to our discussion 2 weeks ago. We talked about Easter, if it's a mandatory holiday or not. But Easter's awesome as a kid.
Right, you need
Yeah.
if with no eggs, it's just you're looking forward to what? Church?
Yeah,
We had my mom would hide the baskets.
yeah, I had
Yeah,
that too.
same.
Yeah.
No,
I had
we
that
got
too.
the baskets on the table. Look for the eggs.
Yeah, I had the basket hide, and then it was Easter's fun.
Yeah.
Easter was
Easter's
like,
fun as a kid. I think it's 50-50 as a kid, though. You get the thing. You do the, like, Good Friday or Saturday night. You color the eggs.
yeah, that too.
You're off. You know you're off the next week. You get in an Easter basket. Look for eggs, like, whatever. But you are getting dressed up, which you hate as a little kid, and getting dragged to church,
Yeah.
you know? And
For
then,
sure.
like, after the Easter basket, there's not much
He hates
to do,
Easter.
really.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I don't think it's as mandatory as people make it out to be. That's all I said.
No,
He lives 10 minutes from his parents. He's trying to debate if he has to go or not.
Yeah, I mean,
No, like I don't mind going, but I'm saying if something was going on that weekend, which actually I want to kick this over to Lance for his off the leash segment. Lance, take it away.
All right, so this kind of is a situation that I was in. It kind of relates to what we're talking about now, and it's the question would be: is it on or off the leash? What happened to me was it was St. Patrick's Day in Chicago, big thing. One of my best friends, of all time, one of my greatest friends, who moved away is having a child and is having his baby shower and scheduled a date months in advance, but it fell on St. Patrick's Day. He's from Chicago. He knows this. And the question is, like, is that off the leash to then kind of make all of us who live in Chicago miss this day that's very important to us? But obviously we don't want to miss his baby shower. It's firstborn too. So is that on or off the leash to kind of have that scenario happen?
Very poor planning by him. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Like if someone who wasn't from Chicago didn't realize how big of a holiday St. Patrick's was here, maybe.
where's he from?
But
he
he
from
is
Chicago?
He's
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
from here,
from
doesn't
here,
live
yeah.
here anymore.
Yeah, if you had it in Indiana an hour away, they'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's certain things you have to block around. Like you ain't doing anything on Super Bowl Sunday. You're not doing like St. Patty's.
And I want to get into that. Like
Memorial Day,
what are
4th of July. Like,
I want to get into the block around once.
I'll give you one off the top of the head. Like
Right.
I've had, I think 3 weddings the night before Father's Day, and like away. Like I went up to Massachusetts, and I'm spending the beginning of Father's Day driving home to try to get home for the barbecue with my dad. You know what night? You can ask wedding venues. I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty much a dead day that they will not book is the Saturday before Mother's Day. No one gets married that day, and it's also kind of faux pas to get married Friday night. Mother's Day is like block it off entire weekend. Don't touch it. Don't look.
Really?
No one will think about that.
I feel like you can always make it home in time though.
I'm just saying, like for whatever reason, like nobody books weddings that weekend. I'm telling you.
See, this is a good point though. Father's Day, Mother's Day, both on Sundays. So, and
Well,
that
this
was-
year only on Sundays.
yeah, true. But so in some respects, very similar to Easter, and as far as how it's laid out for you, I think that's much more important to be at than Easter.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think, maybe this is just my dad. I don't think my dad has given a fuck about Father's Day one time in his
But I don't think it's about that. It's about like just spending the day with your dad.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's not about like
Yeah, but I think you can also be late. Like you got to show face at some point. I don't think he would care if you were a little late.
Exactly.
My
your dad would be more upset than he realized. I think if you didn't see him at all on Father's Day.
I think if he got a call, he'd be fine. But he would be more upset about me missing Easter than missing Father's Day.
Yeah, I think Father's Day, like you could even make up for it the next weekend you see him,
Yeah.
and, like give him the gift, and then.
Yeah, I guess me is more like what I would feel bad about. Like I would feel
But Easter,
bad. like-
Easter's more like how could you plan this on Easter? You know, I could see
Yeah.
something being planned on the morning of Father's Day more easily than like everyone has Easter marked on their calendar.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it is weird. One of those things. Easter, I feel like sneaks up on you.
Yeah, you never know when
Because
it's
it always
Moving
changes.
around.
Yeah, it's always moving. Like, how about this? Next year, fucking Easter's on Final Four weekend.
The moon's got to get it.
You're already getting ahead of it, right? No bus
Already
rides.
getting that? Yeah. Hey, I ain't missing the fucking pump party. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
But
man.
to answer Lance's question, so he is from here, doesn't live here anymore.
Correct.
That, he should see that date and it should like ring a bell in his head. Like that's awfully close to St. Patrick's Day, even closer.
And
to
how
the
old is his friend?
Chicago Saturday.
He would be 26.
Oh, see, he's got to know. It's one thing if you're like
Yeah, but
in a
at
group
20
of friends where everybody's kind of aged out of it. If all your friends are still in their prime drinking age, you have to adjust.
Is
Maybe-
26 the beginning of aging out though?
Kinda.
Not for St. Pat. Like he's.
I'm still on your side.
The,
You should have planned around
the
it.
friend with the kid is the first one who has aged out.
Right.
But like, I wouldn't bet. Also, since when are baby showers for both?
That's a good
genders?
question.
That might be a Hispanic thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not
All right.
sure.
Okay.
That could be a Hispanic thing.
But
Plenty
I
of other
feel like
dudes,
it's
I don't know.
become more and more.
Oh,
Both.
we can't let that happen.
Yeah, I don't ever want to go to.
No,
a baby shower.
as men, we got to put.
Why do they want us there? Like you don't want to at wine night.
Oh, I know.
Same
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, don't. I ain't going to that.
26 is definitely not aging out though. If anything, like
No.
28, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're on the back. You're on the
Back
back
nine.
nine.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
you're. But yeah, I think I'm with. Yeah, I think it's off the leash. That guy's got to know. You know, it's like, and it's not a hard date to remember. You like you just say the month of March, and you think green, and you think St. Patrick's.
Yeah, like
Are
just
both
don't plan
sides-
anything in
Are
March.
both friends Hispanic?
Yeah, they both were.
Do they just not go hard for St. Patty's Day? Is it not as big of a cultural thing? as
And I
the
guess
whites?
also, yeah, I mean that could be a thing. There definitely could be something there. Also, like again, not from Chicago, from the suburbs of Chicago.
But
so
still,
like,
that's
I don't know.
applicable
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this. He's taking the metro. He probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Celebrates
he's
it
gone
just
with me.
hard.
We've gone before, so
Let me
he's
ask,
aware of it for
let,
sure.
let me ask you this. I don't know if the missus ever got involved. What was her reaction to realizing they had planned it on Chicago St. Patrick's Day?
See, that one is taboo, so I'm imagining it was kind of probably like an "oh shit," but don't say anything. I'm not. I was not aware of what her reaction was, but I'm sure when she found it, she probably like did a little fuck.
Well, that's good. That's a good reaction.
should have
Yeah.
some shame.
So did you go?
Yeah, I did go to the baby shower. I was gonna ask, would it have been? It would have been off the leash for me to not go to the baby shower, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's such a long.
if it's your
day,
best
so-
friend.
Yeah,
You just
Yeah.
said it was like one of your best.
definitely.
What time do those things start?
It started at like 5:30, which was nice. So there
Ooh.
was a little bit of a.
Chief's
Of a
not on the
window.
same. He's not on board. It's your best friend, dude.
Yeah, but that's a woman's event.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a
Okay,
different
okay.
conversation, but
But it's the same conversation.
Who's
the
friend is it?
conversation
Your
we're
best
happening
friend
right
or her
now.
best friend?
It's like my best friend.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I also think it's one of those like if there's certain things you can get at, like why didn't you come to my baby shower? We had a wedding, we had a family bar, like or family get together, this, that, whatever, like work event, whatever. Like can't get out of it. Okay, no problem. Can't come. Like all good.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you not come? I got hammered and fucking
Yeah,
was
yeah.
grinding to fucking in the club for 3 hours.
Yeah,
at fucking
sorry.
McFadden's with 3 sevens. Like what do you want me to do? Like
Why didn't
that's
you
a
come?
little like
Why didn't you
yeah.
come? I thought it was an all girls thing.
Yeah.
That would have been your best excuse.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Let's go down the calendar there. Anything in January?
It's like I thought you said you couldn't go to St. Patrick's Day because it's your baby shower.
January
Yeah.
untouchable.
Yeah.
yeah, I need like something in January.
I don't think
Anything?
No.
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 Untouchable, probably not, but like I don't want to do anything championship weekend either.
Yeah. I would say that weekend.
Yeah,
Anything.
yeah.
Super Bowl untouchable.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. It's like, dude, what do you like? You
Yeah.
can't schedule an event on Super Bowl. Does Valentine's Day count?
Yeah.
Yep.
It kind of does. You can't schedule like a big
Anything.
March. Does the St.
I would
Patrick's
say
Day really
St. Patrick's
count?
Day.
You would?
I'll tell you this: the only calendar event on Staten Island that like people mark their calendars around is the St. Patrick's Day parade on Staten Island. That's it. It's the only event that I know that like captivates a community, like where people set their watches to it. That's it.
Some of these are like details matter. Like if championship weekend in January, if there was truly no other weekend, we need to know why you booked it there. If this is something that could have happened on any other weekend in January, I'm willing to listen, but
Yeah. I have the opening round of the tournament for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
The opening weekend, excuse
Yep.
me. Those 4 days are like, don't.
I'm busy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but people still. I agree with you. We don't want that, but people still do it because there
But I'm
are
just saying, like, you
non-sportsmen.
gotta
My cousin got married on the Saturday when Northern Iowa beat Kansas.
I'm just saying you got to be better than this. You know, like you just can't.
Right, I agree.
Got it.
Yeah, but there are people who will be like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like I was giving her shit when she got married, like right away. But like that doesn't cross their pet. They don't think it's non-negotiable. That's what makes it tough. So yeah, I guess average guys, what do we think? Yeah, it's untouchable.
Yeah.
That's untouchable.
I could see it happening though. Like say you're with the venue booker and it's like, oh, we only have this date or this date 10 weeks from now. And you're just like, oh, it's what, the second week of March Madness? That'll be fine, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Anything in April besides Easter?
Nah.
No.
May,
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. I kind of like. It doesn't have
I
as
feel
much.
like I have been to a wedding Mother's Day weekend though.
Really?
June's tough because other people have different things going on, but like
Maybe
high school
that's
graduations and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe that's a East Coast thing.
What?
What he said.
Which one?
You said you've been to weddings on Mother's Day.
He says he hasn't.
Yeah, so that maybe it's an East Coast thing.
Oh, but I have like the wedding I'm thinking of was in upstate New York. Or
Mother's
is
Day.
in Vermont. Yeah, it's Mother's Day weekend.
The opening weekend of May used to be awesome. Like it was
Cinco de
usually, it was just
Mayo.
like a big fight.
Dude,
Cinco de
that
Mayo,
used to
Kentucky
that
Derby.
first Saturday of May used to be like this is the
Kickoff.
best day of the
Best.
year.
Yeah.
So you would have NHL NBA playoffs,
Mhm.
you'd have the Kentucky Derby, then you would have the big fight.
Yeah.
So you were booked like the entire day.
Yeah.
Oh, you know why I think people might not have weddings the Saturday before Mother's Day as well? I graduated, which is weird too. I graduated college the day before Mother's Day. And I feel like a lot of people graduate college.
Yeah,
that
it's
day.
always about that.
So it's
time.
one of those like
Yeah, there's
maybe the wedding industry just has a dead night. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I might have pulled an off the leash moment. This happened to me last year too. My brother's bachelor party, the last day, that Sunday, is Father's Day. And we talked with the group. No, like none of them could make it any other weekend in June. They didn't want to do it in May. And I was like, hey, just so everyone knows, is this still fine? And they're like, yeah, we'll be home by noon.
Yeah, you gotta advise your plans for that.
Yeah.
Revise, excuse me. June, I can't think of anything.
I mean, if you guys say Father's Day, it would be Father's Day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a high school graduation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
4th of July.
yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. My sister got married 4th of July weekend.
How was that?
So it was one of those years where you had like the Friday and the Monday off. So I kind of liked it because you had like the full, or maybe it was just the Friday off. Maybe I think she got married on the 3rd or the 5th. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was like you had a baked in recovery day. So then like everybody was kind of around for one extra day. So it turned into like a 48-hour or a 72-hour like extended family reunion party thing, which made it fun. And then you had like your recovery day instead of like, I hate when you fly in wedding Saturday and then you have to fly out the next day, especially if it's like a cross country. So you're buckled, exhausted from the wedding, then you have to be back and be ready to go to work. I like having like an extra day.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Before or after? Sorry.
After.
After. Yeah, of
yeah.
course. Yeah. August.
No.
Got to plan around when the kids are going back to school.
Yeah. September is Labor Day.
I feel like is Labor Day sometimes in August?
Maybe it's
Maybe.
from New York. I find it very weird if anybody gets married on September 11th, which people have done.
Yeah,
I
that's
find it very fucking weird.
I could see that.
Week 1 NFL right there at the beginning of September.
Yeah, week 1's kind of tough. I have a wedding this year, and I'm like, I got to see where the Bear situation is.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's,
The 21st of September.
yeah, your birthday.
Yeah.
Halloween's whatever, obviously, if you go to October.
But yeah, again, like you probably wouldn't care about missing Halloween, but if you're planning something, you're making other people miss Halloween.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
that's in the same Patty's Day category.
Right.
So unless it's like their parents with kids that are trick-or-treating, like if you're 30 or you're 20, like you don't have to be out on every Halloween.
But that's what I mean where details matter is like whatever this is, could it really not have been planned any other wide open weekend in October?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And like having kids, I think, is a big
Yeah.
differentiator.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, who's going to be
How
there
often
at your
do you
house
use
to hand
your-
out the candy?
How often do you use your kids as an excuse to get out of things? Because I feel like I would do that all the time.
Not as
kid's
much.
Sick. Kid's sick. Can't do it.
Not as much. I don't know. I've tried to.
I've heard the parents do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
would
try
do
to
it.
go to things.
Yeah. Okay.
I wrote that blog a couple months ago. Like, obviously, it was one of the last times I ended up seeing somebody like spend the 15 minutes. You know, like my mom's motto has always been just go.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know when the last time you're going to see somebody is. Like, you try to go, but I will. There are definitely. I think. Well, it's just better to be up front, as well as like, I'm not going. It's too hard with the kids, and just say that right up front. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So it's like,
yeah, for sure. All right, we could shut this down. Bosco, thanks for jumping in.
always, I love the free swims.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
I
you.
love having you on the free.
Yeah, it's nice
Same.
to have you.
Hope your neck's feeling better.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. We will see you then.